Fellas,
What's up?
man, where do we go from here, man?
I don't know too much about that whole.
You know what? Let me go ahead and finish reading this, and then we're gonna keep it moving because Stanford did research on this, bro. Like this ain't no. So here we go. A 2024 Stanford medicine study published it was in Nature Medicine. It examined medically supervised ibogaine treatment combined with magnesium in special operations veterans suffering from traumatic brain injury. That's TBI, PTSD, depression, and anxiety, man. So the key findings were the PTSD improvement. The participants experienced an average of 88% reduction in PTSD symptoms 1 month after treatment. 88%. Now with depression and anxiety, researchers reported an average of 87% reduction in depression, those symptoms, and an 81% reduction in anxiety symptoms. Disability reduction, average disability scores reportedly dropped from mild to moderate levels down to no disability category. Cognitive function. Participants showed improvement in memory, concentration, and information processing, bro. Now, there are some downsides to it. Obviously I got to include that. Correct. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's the whole thing, the whole perspective, all sides. Important risks can carry cardiac risk, dangerous heart rhythm complications, psychological distress, and possible death in unsafe environments. Medical supervision is mandatory. I mean, it should be mandatory. It has to be. Right. We have to be in a safe environment. But those are some pretty good numbers, man. If you think about those commercials about that stuff that the pharmaceutical, the different medicines that are available through prescription, man, one of the actual side effects is suicide at the end of the damn commercial, man. So what are we doing? What do y'all feel about that, man? As far as what you can share, if you don't mind, after getting that information. Because y'all in it, man. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like if the numbers show, then maybe they should keep pushing or keep doing research on it to see how it can help us in, the United States.
Yeah.
But all in all, this is my second time hearing about this information, so I can't give you too much about it. But I think if it's working, keep trying.
Because there's a lot of stuff out there that ain't working.
100%. 100%.
Bro.
Like trying to give somebody drugs to get off of drugs.
Right. Now, when I had pulled up here, dog, I told you I got emotional. I could have cried in the car on the way over here, but I didn't. So this research should have been going on. You know what I'm saying? So there might be a slight chance. I don't know.
It's the
I don't know.
if.
I can't. The what if. So I'm just saying, man, it's a lot of people that's done. Man, y'all have some people, man, right? That have like suicide and stuff like that, man, and struggling out here. And
I'll say it's with any drug, you can say it's a double-edged sword. Because as I say, once again, it's going to affect each person differently.
Yeah.
But from this research, the statistics, the numbers have shown it's helped improve whomever went through the process, who's been on these drugs, who's tested it, which is a good thing and is, something that we need. As far as it being open to the public widely, that's another conversation to where why hasn't this been pushed widely when the results are showing positive results. And I just, hate to say it, typically when you have something that's working real good, very good, it starts out small, as the gentleman who just left. If it's presented to the government on this end, it's going to be a money grab. At the end of the day, I hate to say it, they're going to try to figure out some kind of way to where they can introduce this to where they can get some kind of, get back return on investment on it, which isn't fair because this stuff right here can dictate a lot of people's lives. Mm-hmm. If it's showing that it's preventable or it's able to help or whatever it may be, I think overall society has to get out of this greed state because that's what's hurting a lot of people. If there's a treatment that's working, numbers have been shown, proven, just let it flow naturally. Like, it's there to help the people. yeah, they're going to be, as you say, some negative side effects to it, but the good in this outweighs the bad.
I agree with you, man.
And that's, just the thing right there that's shown with the statistics. But it's trial by case. It's trial by case when it comes to something like that. So for those, that may be suffering those experiences, PTSD, TBIs, depression, severe depression, suicidal thoughts or whatever it may be, if this is a solution for them, why not push this out, nationally and let it be there instead of trying to hinder it and keeping it in a certain specific region or whatever it may be. It doesn't make sense. And like I say, that's just my take on it. As you say, like, what if, this would have been introduced? What if? And I know that's kind of like a swinging door. It don't never close. It's kind of always, going back and forth with it. Like, man, if this could have happened, this could have happened. And so that's just my take, with that.
I want you to chime in, but I want to get back to this real quick, the risks.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, what, 4 bullet points, 5 bullet points? Now, think about it again, these commercials now, all them lists, they read them out real quick, too. Come on, man.
Like at least 30.
At least.
Yeah, stomach ulcers, headaches, skin rash.
Dude.
I just want to kind of just touch back on, right? And I get it, what we're talking about right now. But one thing I want to say to you is you can't go day by day thinking, what if?
I don't.
Right? Okay, good. But
Like I told you, it hit me right there,
Right.
bro. I was like, what if? Like, literally, it hit me because I know a guy I went to high school with, he overdosed.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff is getting spiked with fentanyl now.
Mhm.
So, and that's from the opioid crisis. And we ain't gonna get into all
That's
that, how
a
that got
whole-
started and all. It's a whole nother situation. We just this day one, we scratching the surface, man. I ain't gonna do no deep dive in all that, man. But something going on, bro. And I'm trying to help people heal and restore, restoration, so we can grow and come together, dog, and build.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just so much division and everything, but just the mental health, the jig is up, dog. Like, something got to give. And this is the starting point, at least.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. I kind of had something I was gonna say.
Oh, my bad.
And, no, it's okay.
No, because you were saying that I have the what if.
Oh yeah. So I think of it like this, and this could be me going on a whole nother tangent, right?
Go ahead, bro.
I lost my older brother. I lost my best friend 1 month after my older brother, right? So I lost my best friend to a drug overdose, and I lost my brother to COVID, right? And everybody always say, what if you did like this? That whole instance when my friend overdosed, I offered him like, hey, I'll come and get you. He was in Maryland, right? I told him, hey, I'll come and get you.
But yeah, I remember when
Saying,
you first started.
I'll come down right now and come and get you. He asked me to give him a day to think about it. And that day that I gave him, found out that he tried this stuff again and overdosed, right? Dang. And I was beating myself up the whole time, man. What if I just, instead of saying, hey, I gave him that day, I just hopped in the car and drove that 6 hours and came and got him. He'll still be here right now, right?
Right.
But then I think about it like this, right? And this could be a bad way of putting it, but my best friend who passed away, he was a pawn in my life to kind of direct me into being the person that I am right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my older brother, when he passed away, I felt like, and using the word pawn, it sounds like I'm being disrespectful, but everybody, what I'm saying is,
plays a piece,
Everybody
plays
Right.
a part or a
So-
role.
Exactly.
if I didn't lose, I'm Aaron, to the drugs, I wouldn't have made the decision to go into the management role that I got into, correct? Right?
Yeah.
And then if my older brother didn't pass away so abruptly, I wouldn't have made that decision to secure my family and our lives with the military, right? So I just wanted to put that out there. It's not you can't really think about, if I did it like this or if this happened like this. You got to think of it as in, I don't know what your religion is. I don't know what your religion is, but I'm just going to put it out here as a universal religion and just say God makes everything happen for a reason. Like, I felt like if Aaron didn't pass away, I wouldn't have went into the role that I went into work. If my brother didn't pass away, I wouldn't have decided to go in the military because my brother passed away so abruptly. His wife and his son didn't have enough money to pay for the funeral. So that kind of put our family in a hole, in a financial hole, trying to come together and come with those finances. I told myself I would never let that happen to my family, right? So that just made me go down a different path. I just wanted to drop that in there. I know kind of went on the tangent, but
No, you
I
good,
hope
man.
that kind of y'all get where I was.
And I want to say,
what I was putting
and
down.
I want to say thank you. And I wasn't trying to be rude earlier when you had said like going every day saying what if.
Right.
I'm gonna say thank you because you stopped me right there from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Day one, literally, man. I don't know why it never really hit me like that until I pulled up in the parking lot.
Because that's the biggest weight on our shoulders is what ifs and what coulds, or that's the biggest weight on everybody's shoulders every single day. Oh, what if I made this left instead of making this right? Or
Yeah,
what
I mean, and really, I could do the same thing about myself. Like, what if this was available to me before while I was doing my early stages of alcoholism?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no used to doing that.
Right.
And I just drive myself crazy, man. I ain't got time for that. I got to do what I'm doing now, man. Have these
Right.
conversations with y'all, man,
Focus
and
on the
build and
present.
move forward and help
Right.
people,
Right.
man.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Our stories make other people stronger.
yeah, man. That testimony and stuff like that, bro. Like, it's important to share this kind of stuff, man. What are the responsibilities that come with what y'all do regarding the young kids, the youth that look up to y'all?
So one of the main responsibilities is not only just recruiting, but being a mentor. I've noticed that as being a recruiter, your job doesn't just fully entails of or details just bringing people in and putting them in boots, right? Your job is basically mentoring them to be the next replacement for you when it comes down to it. Being there for them when it comes to, trying to sign up for school or just any type of personal issues they have going on. I stated earlier about my first sergeant, absolutely amazing dude. My recruiter, 10 times better, right? Me and you touched on this a little bit, but when I joined, I was 29, turned 30 in basic training.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out my wife was pregnant, but when I already signed my papers, so that was one of the hardest moments that I had to go through is leaving my pregnant wife in a new place because we just moved here and everything. But to have my recruiter go above and beyond, writing me, while I'm gone, texting my wife to make sure she's fine while she's going through the pregnancy. I remember when my wife was about 6 or 7 months pregnant, and she was explaining to me how, she needed to go out and get some groceries, but she couldn't get it because she was, bedridden, first pregnancy. But my sergeant or my recruiter, Sergeant First Class Thomas, I actually took his spot as a recruiter, which is kind of funny how things played out. But he went out and got groceries for my wife. Didn't ask me to pay for it or anything like that.
Shout out to him, man.
That right there made me realize that as a recruiter, your job isn't just recruiting. It's being there for your soldiers.
It's real brotherhood right there, man.
Oh yeah. It's that I wouldn't expect my own family to do something like that. But for somebody who barely knew me, to go out and go above and beyond to take care of my family, that right there meant the world to me.
And that's it. When it comes to, a lot of people throw the word or the phrase out, brothers and sisters in arms. Some people just throw it out there and joke at it, but literally, like, that's a true thing. Just from what he's saying, his recruiter, Sergeant First Class Thomas, me and him, we pretty much joined at the same time. So, like I say, it's crazy how stuff works, how stuff comes full circle. And shout out to Sergeant Thomas. He's always been like that. From when me and him,
You the man.
From young jits coming in to, he's retired now. Next, I'll be on my way out. The same thing. It's that responsibility. We're not just recruiters. We're mentors. We're someone you can speak to, you can talk to. Like, you're a recruiter, you're a counselor. You might be a big brother, you might be a big sister in some eyes. Just an outlet to some people, and especially the youth when it comes to them, because a lot of times now they feel they don't have no one to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
They feel someone is always going to come at them. They feel someone is always going to get on them. Not because we're getting on them because, some of them may need it. It's because, we see a lot of potential in them that they may not see in themselves. And, my biggest thing as far as, becoming a recruiter was to give back. A lot of kids don't know. Some of them, they just, like how I was. I mean, I just wanted to work. That was it, get a job, and I was going to figure out the rest.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's so much more than that, especially when you see it that's already in a kid. Get them a sense of direction. Get them some drive. That's the main thing. Get out your comfort zone for a little bit. With the National Guard, you're not full-time. If you want to serve in the military, get to see how the military is, get that experience under your feet, take the Guard route. you know, you're going to get that experience. You want to see how the military works. And if you want to be at home for that little time while you're still getting, you know, if they say initially your feet wet, do that. You know, if the gentleman just said here, when he got in, hey, you know, job really wasn't good. I just want to go full time. Now, you have that option from the guard side. You can do that. But first, get in and see what it's like.
Bro. I'm glad you brought that back up because earlier I was like, man, we was kind of the same then because I made like A's and B's or whatever, you know what I'm saying, in high school, but I didn't know what I wanted to do.
That's it.
I didn't have a specific like plan on what I wanted to do.
That's
so
it.
I would say for any individual out there that's going out of high school and instead of going to college for all that money, you don't really have any direction, take the route that you took.
That's it.
You can develop a skill,
Right.
That's
something
it.
specific,
You know
man,
that.
and get that guidance and get that resilience built up
Right.
with everything that y'all mentioned earlier in the podcast, man. I really like the what if. I really wish I would have went
That's
that
it.
route, at least the National Guard, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right. A lot of people don't realize, but you go to school, get a bachelor's degree, you know, you're stuck paying that degree off for the next 15 years. That's one of the most expensive things you can get in your adult career is a home, a degree, and a car, right? And maybe some medical bills, depending on if you have to deal with that. But that's the beauty of the National Guard is we alleviate most of those debts, so you don't have to worry about it. And the car and the housing debt, we put you in a position to where financially you're doing a lot better compared to what you would do straight out of high school, you know, 17, 18 years old. We give you certificates that you can work with, or we can help you pay for a degree. We even have active duty guard jobs in the National Guard where you're getting paid same as active duty Army or Air Force, whatever it may be. But you have the freedom to at 9 or at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock to take your butt back home. You
Exactly.
know,
You're
20,
back at
30
home.
minutes away. I live an hour away from here, but you know, and then do it again the next day.
You live an hour away from here?
I live in North Carolina. But
Oh,
soon we'll
okay.
be just put that out there. We're gonna be selling this house real soon. So if anybody's looking for a
Look
new
at
house
this
in
man
Monroe,
trying to
North
sell a
Carolina,
house, boy.
I'm
I
just
tell
kidding.
you. He put it out there, y'all. I'm just saying, he
But
put it out there.
and then to go back, right? Dang it, you said something about. Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all right.
Nah, you good. You gonna remember because I'm just gonna kind of go back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't know if the multiverse is real, if there's whatever about the multiverse. I'm not a physicist.
We're in
but
the Matrix.
The Matrix, all that. You listen to Styles P?
All the time.
You know that song, Don't You Come Back? He was like, I'm at the Matrix nucleus. Shadow came to the mirror, said I was the spookiest. God. But look,
Wow.
I'm telling you, man, I think that is a big issue with kids. As far as me, I didn't have any purpose. So I just went to Clemson. And, bro, the alcoholism just got way worse. I was partying. It was the worst decision that I made. You know what I'm saying? As far as just going to college and partying, if I would have went to boot camp, dog. You know what I'm saying?
You would have went there
And
a little bit
got
more
some
structured.
discipline. I ain't really had no discipline. But like you said, I mean, like I say, I made good grades, man. But like not having purpose, not having a specific plan.
Kinda
I didn't go
slows
to be a
things.
lawyer. You know what I'm saying? A doctor. I just was like, okay, I guess I'll just do engineering because my parents say that's where the money is. I love my mom and daddy, bro. I ain't taking nothing from them, dog. But it's just the real truth, bro. That's not the right way to go about it, man. Find your purpose, find your passion, do that, get that direction, bro. Like,
Now,
I mean, you know, you already know, man.
Yeah,
I know.
one thing is so funny and it's cliche that I've heard, if you're never playing, you're planning to fail.
Exactly. That's
And
all
that is a true statement.
Yep.
If you just go through life and you never have no specific route, plan, detail, anything laid out that you want to do, you planning to fail because you're just going to go with the flow. And wherever that flow takes you, that's where you're going to land. So it's very important that even in your everyday routine, have a routine. Wake up, take a shower, wash your face, brush your teeth, get something to eat. Have something structured. Like it helps keep you focused. It helps keeps you on track with anything that you do daily, and especially when it comes to a degree-wise or career-wise. If you just go do a lot of stuff and you don't have nothing specific in the end that you're shooting for, you can be a jack of all trades, but your value is deteriorated because you're not fully in one thing. You spread out over a million places. So you cutting yourself all the way across. How can you fully invest? How can you fully be in something if you're spread all over the place?
Yeah, what's that term? It's like master of none.
There you go.
Something about the jack of all trades, right? You said like
Jack
that,
of
yeah.
all trades, master of none.
Yeah, bro.
You know, so things like that. But you know, like I say, man, as far as recruiting wise, man, it was to give back. You know, it was to give back to, you know, to the kids, to try to give them some sense of direction, some sense of purpose. And you know, um, a lot of kids, you know, and I'm just gonna say it and put it out there, you know, there are certain stereotypes about kids or certain minority groups or whatever it may be. That's not the case. Don't fall into that spectrum. Like when we recruit, we don't recruit just one particular type of kid or color or race. We recruit all male, female, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Chinese, whatever it is, because if it's something that we can help you do and put you in a direction to where we see something that's positive for you, and if you qualify, and if you want to do it, we're going to help you get to your goal. And that's the thing I can say I love about the military. They say it's a melting pot. People from everywhere and all over comes for one purpose. Pretty much it's to better themselves. I don't even really think a lot of time it's for people because they want to join the military. I think that's a misconception. They want to join the military to better themselves because they see they have a lot of options. If I just get my foot in the door, I can go anywhere. And I think that's the thing when it comes to people joining the military. Now, I can't be wrong. Some, you know, some can be, hey, I'm Army, my family's this. I come from a generation of, you know, military family and this and that or whatever it may be. But for the most part, people are trying to find their way, and people are looking at ways to where they can get there faster by taking an easier route.
And that's the military.
And that's pretty much what it is, you know. And we get a lot of backlash about it, you know. I don't want to do this, and because it's not something I agree with, and I'm just gonna say it again, you know, with our president, because a lot of people will want to bash that. At the end of the day, it's not about the president. It's about you as a person finding your way. It don't matter who the president is at the end of the day.
It's always gonna be
That's
a conflict.
the thing. Exactly. Every president gonna have his stuff. He gonna have some stuff hidden. He gonna have some stuff he talk about. We don't never truly really know. All we can control and know what we know is what we have ourselves. So it doesn't matter who is at the top at the end of the day. You do your job, do what you're supposed to do, and make your way from there.
Because that's just like any company you ever go to.
Exactly. Everything
Civilian
else is out your
side,
hands.
whatever. You know, you're gonna have a manager that treats you like trash or talks to you like trash or make you do stupid stuff. But then at the end of the day, you work on the civilian side, you're not going to get those benefits like we're going to get in the military side, you know? Yeah, we got the president, but how often are you going to really see the president? You know, yeah, you gotta deal with the orders that get pushed down, but how often are you going to see this man face to face and he's going to give you trash? You know what I mean? So that's the way I like to think about it. No matter where you work at, no matter where you go, you're always going to have somebody in your workplace that you're not going to agree with, or you're not going to like the way they talk to you or treat you. But as an adult, this is something you're just going to have to deal with and keep trucking, you know?
Accountability, dog.
Exactly.
A lot of people that be throwing up the president's name, like you said, like, don't do that. Just focus on local stuff going on. Get out here. Join the conversation. Stop complaining, man. If you really want to make a change. Matter of fact, what you need to do is make a change inside yourself.
That's
a lot of
where it
people.
started.
That's always where it started. If you want change, what's that saying? If you want change, you gotta make change yourself. But that's what the whole concept of dapping the hug is, bro. Like respect and love. Like you have to respect yourself first and love yourself first. Then you can go out here and spread that, man.
Right. You know what? I love that you said that. Growing up, especially back, I like to say D.C., Maryland, it's a different ball game. You know, here in South Carolina, you hold the door open for somebody, they're gonna be like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, over here, back home, you hold the door open for somebody, they're gonna be thinking that you waiting to get behind them so you can steal something out their back pocket or something. You know, that respect and that love, I feel like it gets a lot more down here, but it's amplified. It's amplified in the military, right? For example, back me and you, right? I've been working with Lytle since I came into recruiting. His rookie year is basically my rookie year, right? I had to go through this course that helped me, take that next step forward into my recruiting career. That course is known for people not making it through because of the information that you get in a short amount of time. I called Lytle because I didn't make it the first go around, right? I called Lytle the first go around. man, I didn't make it through. Basically, holding back tears, like, dang, man, I'm not making it for myself. I'm not. I thought that I was setting myself up career wise for my family, and just to have all that weight on my shoulders to come back home and tell my wife that I failed, that hurt. But one thing Lytle said to me that day, and I bring it up to you all the time because you need to start working on it too, is when you got something going on, call somebody, talk to somebody, right? I've never realized, maybe it was just because, of the work, the time that I put into being an area manager and management and restaurants and stuff like that. You don't have somebody that you can call on. You can call the bosses, right? But what are they going to do? Figure it out,
Yep.
But not having that mindset to know that I can call on the person that works with me to help me motivate me through this next step and to get over this. Shoot, I went through the course again and I didn't pass the first test. Called this man again. Like, Lytle, bro, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, man. Hey, what'd you do wrong? This, and that. Morris, how many times I gotta tell you to slow down, read the question, because you know the stuff. Just slow down.
Stop second guessing.
Do the question. And look, I'm here now. Just because of having somebody on my side to motivate me, to somebody that I can come to and talk to, somebody that I felt like I had a bond with, that knew something about me, that helped me through a very, I want to say detrimental.
Say it was
time.
trying. I ain't gonna say it was detrimental.
When I
was
mean
trying,
look, guys, and this is for everybody who's watching this. That was one of the scariest moments in my career. Right, basic training was easy, but moving forward, taking these courses to move forward and progress into your career, those are the times where it gets a little bit hard, especially when you have a family and people that you're supporting. Like, my wife's a stay-at-home mom. If I didn't make it through that course, I would have been looking for another job. But to have somebody support me and build me up, to motivate me, to show me that I know what I'm doing, and to help me get past that, I'm so thankful to this dude, because without him and Sergeant Engel motivating me through that and showing me, like, hey,
definitely.
Morris, this information, bro. Take your time. That right there meant a lot to me. So I just kind of touched back on family and having that, that bond.
What are some opportunities that the Army provides that people may not be aware of?
Oof, that's my favorite conversation right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you run with that one.
So
That's your thing.
first things first, right? Since we're talking about mental health, in the National Guard, every unit has somebody that you can come and talk to for mental health, right?
Wait, time out. Didn't you tell me that y'all had a person here for that, but since the tariffs or whatever shut down?
We did have a shutdown, which kind of, it cut down as many people as civilian jobs that we can have in each unit, but they're still there. You might have to call two or three different units to find somebody because of the shutdown. The option is still out there for y'all to grab when needed, right? Dang, you threw me off with that.
Yeah, I know. I think
Where was I going?
that battalion in Columbia is Master Sergeant Sherry Sultan. She's down there. She's like the mental health consultant that can help as far as with the National Guard here in South Carolina. I know she's one of the ones you can reach out to with that. So,
yeah. We was talking about the opportunities that the Army offers that people may not know.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So that's one of the opportunities. A lot of people don't know that it's there, but their name should be posted just about everywhere in that unit for you to be able to grab that information. And if you don't know the information, go to your platoon sergeant, your readiness NCO, or your commander, and they'll give you that information. But also, a lot of people don't realize the National Guard, the South Carolina National Guard in a whole, are one of the incentives that I love talking about is education, right? Because without education, what are you doing? If you want to get more money in your pockets, education. You want to make better decisions, education. Because the more information you know, the better opportunities you have in life. The education benefits that we give people, it basically helps you out to better yourself down career wise, and also it alleviates you having to, once you get that education, to take that, let's say, 6-figure salary that you just signed up for. At least half of that is going to be going back to your education benefits or your degree that you worked 4 years to get. So that's huge. People also don't realize in the National Guard you can get paid to go to school. who wouldn't want to get $1,000 to keep a C average and go to school? That takes a lot of weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
It helps you, focus on just going to school and coming home instead of having to work that part-time job to make that $1,000 that you're making. That's one of the biggest things. But one of my favorite things is real estate, right? Everybody knows that, you do a certain amount of time in the military, you get, your VA home loan, et cetera. That is one of my favorite things to talk about because I'm working my way into try to get into real estate, but you do 90 days with the National Guard on active duty orders.
Active duty side.
Your VA benefits open up: VA home loan, VA small business loan, and then you do 6 years on a 6-year contract, showing up 1 week in a month, 2 weeks during the summertime. Same thing. You open up your VA home loan, your VA benefits. A lot of people don't realize that you can get these things, or they might know about it, but they might not know that they're eligible for them, because they don't do the research on it. That's another thing that pretty much that I feel like that in itself is an opportunity for people to create passive income. I'm huge on passive income because why am I going to sign up for something if I'm not going to get something out of it? What am I missing, Ly?
Even with the soldier.
Member Relief Act?
There you go. You already know where I'm going with it.
I'm sorry. Was you about to say something, brother?
Now I was gonna say I'm glad that you mentioned that you have to maintain the C average, bro, because I used to work in collections. You default on your student loan or your grade, your GPA, you make below a C or something like that in your class. People still think like, your financial aid gonna pay for or the GI Bill. And those were tough conversations to have with people, man. They did sacrifice their time for our country, man. And then they having hard times. And either they were trying to bamboozle me and lying, or they just made a mistake, man. An honest mistake, bro. Either way, it was tough to talk to people about that, man. And like those are the people I really wanted to help, bro. Like,
and I think that's another reason why I got into recruiting.
And that's back to education. And they can get all that information from you guys.
Right, exactly.
Go ahead.
And then I can, if with me being a recruiter, I'm the first line of defense, right? To give you all the information you possibly can get so you can be successful in your career.
Right.
Like the Service Member Relief Act. That's something that a lot of people don't realize. If you go on active duty orders for over 90 days, if you are in any type of interest rate, like credit cards, car payments, anything like that, right?
Yes, any loans you may have.
You go to whatever bank that you bank with or whatever, whoever you got a car payment with, and you turn in your orders to them. Some companies can pull your orders automatically and find them themselves. And what that does is, if you can prove that you was working, or that you was on active duty military orders for at least 90 days, they take your interest rate and knock it down to 5%, right? Under 5%.
It's 4%.
So funny story, right? Me and my wife, I knew that I wanted to marry her. She didn't know that I wanted to marry her just yet, right? Me and her went to go buy her first car off the lot, right? I put the money down on for her. All she had to do was sign on the dotted line. We had that car for 4 years. We still had 2 years left on paying that car. I used a Service Member Relief Act. My wife was in she was in a 24% APR interest rate. Like basically she was paying like heavy for that. I found out that my wife was eligible for it because we were married and I was on active duty orders. So we signed up for it. They knocked my wife's car down to, I want to say, 4% interest rate.
Voila.
Come to find out that we paid so much in the interest that we end up owning that car. We still had 2 years left, and they sent us almost $1,000 paycheck because we paid too much when it came to interest. So that right there, I thought, because single member, I said one income in that household, right? I thought that I was going to be stuck paying my wife's car for another 2 years. That her car payment was like around $500 for a Honda, right? A lot. But to come and get that Service Member Relief Act and for us to not have to pay that payment anymore, huge financial wise, mental strain wise, everything.
Yeah.
That kept $500 in our household every month now, So that's a lot of people don't realize what they're eligible for. But that's why I'm so glad that I came in so late in my age, because now I'm asking questions and I'm repeatedly asking those questions. And I'm gonna write it down, and I'm gonna figure out how I can use those benefits for myself.
What's your perks? What's your benefits and everything? And just to piggyback off what he was saying about the VA home loan, so as many homes as you can afford that you can buy and get, you can use that same VA home loan over and over and over again.
Let me refine that though, right? So every person, when you sign up for the VA home loan, they do a soft credit check, right?
Yeah.
And once they do a soft credit check, income-wise, all that stuff, then they'll give you a set amount, which is going to be your VA home loan limit, right? So say you got a $350,000 VA home loan limit. You can go out and buy 2 homes for $175,000. I think it's $350,000, right? I suck at math. I'm pretty sure that's right.
I'm terrible. So.
Okay, look, as long
That's
as
it. You know,
as it's not
175
just
times
me,
2
right?
300.
So you can go and buy 2 properties, say, but the stipulation to it is you have to live in your house. Well, I want to say, I could be wrong, y'all, so don't judge me if I'm wrong, but I want to say you have to live in your house for at least 90 days. What's 3 months living in your house? And then after that, you put it up for rent or something like that to bring some passive income into your household. So that's currently what I'm working on now, So, man, when I mean, it's if y'all TikTok it or Instagram search, Google search, whatever they do nowadays, but if y'all look it up, it's a bunch of military service members who did 6 years in the military and then came out being millionaires. It's ways around. It's ways to do it. You just got to be smart about it.
That's it.
I had no idea about 99% of what you just said.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I hope we do this more often.
Yeah,
man,
we will,
because
man.
I wanna
This
give
is
you all the information
ridiculous, dog. Oh, and back to the being bad at math. He's talking about the $500 that you were saving per year. I was like 12 times 500.
That's 60. 12 times 5 is 60. So
that's why it's like,
I done saved $6,000 a year and everything with that. But yeah, man, it's certain perks and stuff that you get, just from being in the National Guard. Once you win, hey, you can do the research yourself. Find out about stuff. We don't, South Carolina, for one thing with us, we don't pay taxes on our military checks. That's another thing we don't pay.
How about that?
You get your military check, we don't pay taxes on it.
We don't
Stuff
pay
like
taxes
that.
in South Carolina neither.
I'm too old to join, ain't it?
Nah,
I'm 41.
We got
they just increased the limit to 45. You good to go.
42.
Well, there's
got one more.
I mean,
stipulations.
it's something I'm seriously thinking about. I don't know. Considering just
it's stipulations around it.
We just enlisted last year a 42-year-old
Mr. Robinson.
teacher.
I got him. That's my guy. Great Falls.
So trust me, it ain't. I'm not here to recruit you.
And so the thing is with recruiting him, so, he was a teacher at Great Falls, master's degree and all that stuff. The main thing we try to tell these kids, we don't want you to take out a student loan because it includes debt. You take out a student loan, you're going to be paying nearly 20-something years to pay off a loan. And when you can come in with us, find your school that you want to go to, find out how much the tuition is, use our money and see how much you can get paid to go to school. That's, per semester and per year, and what you can make while you're in school. So long story short, Mr. Robinson, he had a lot of money in student loan debt. While he enlisted, he qualified for student loan repayment. National Guard is going to pay off $50,000 of his student loan debt that he's had. And he's 42 years old. So that means to tell you over the 20 years it may have taken him to pay off that student loan, he still had that loan. But with him serving, they're going to pay $50,000 of his student loan debt off. So now if I'm telling you they're going to pay $50,000, just imagine what his number is, because I'm not putting it out there.
I'm about to say, don't put
I'm
that
not putting it
number
out there, but
just in case.
you mean to tell me they're going to pay $50,000 out of that? Yeah.
Right.
And he just has to pay the rest. So like I said, it's a lot of things that's in there that, once you get in, you qualify for them, use them.
It's up to you to use them.
And that's it.
What's the saying? You can lead a
horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it, man. It's a lot of things, that goes on. And I'll say this about anything you do in life. You're going to give it time. Everything you do, you have to give it time. You have to sacrifice your time. So why not sacrifice your time realistically? If you do 6 years, you're going to work 38 days a year. Part-time service, full-time benefits. For those that are going to school, you can get your degree paid for and earn money. Why not do that? Because if you if you do it your way, you're going to go in debt. And who wants to be 17, 18, 19, 20 years old with over $100,000 in student loan debt?
I wish we would have crossed paths, and I would have had a conversation with you when I had graduated from high school, bro.
I was just a couple years ahead of you, so we was
about to
kind of high school right there
Yeah,
together.
I think he was still a private around that time. But
This is the biggest thing. Like, I'm a parent myself. I talked to my daughter. She's older. She didn't go to college route or anything with her. But my son, he's 17. He's getting ready to be a senior next year. I've never pushed the National Guard on him. I've never pushed the military on him. I've just talked to him about my job, what I do, why I recruit, the things that are there available for kids. And I always told him, for one, I say this, I ain't gonna have no rich dummy. Because for when I tell them, a lot of kids, y'all fall into this thing, sports. There's more out here than just sports. Because with sports, you're one injury away. You think about professionals, one injury away, if they haven't made millions to save their money, one injury away, their career's over, they're done. They'll be back out here working it for a company themselves if they didn't do their money right. So always have a backup plan. With him, I told him, I can pay for my son to go to school because once again, guess what? Those are benefits that I have. I can pass my educational benefits on to my son. But guess what? If you're able-bodied, you can do it yourself. Because at the end of the day, mom and dad ain't gonna always be here. Make your own way. And I told him that. You sacrifice time for sports. You sacrifice your body for practice, all this stuff right here. Sacrifice your time for something that's going to help build your future too as well. And that's what I tell him. And so he's listening now. He comes to me and he asks me stuff about it. And that's the thing. And that's why when I talk to kids, I talk to them like they're my son as well. Because at the end of the day, I still have the mentality it takes a village.
Yeah, I literally was thinking
it takes a village. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, and they're like, well, ain't nobody going to touch my kid. Ain't nobody going to say this and that. But you think about it. For those of us, I would say that's at least 38 and up.
Hold on now.
I'm just saying. From my experience, from 38 and up, probably we come from that village to where our friends' parents, our aunts and our uncles, when we got out of line, they tightened us up. When we got home, we got tightened up again. Oh, Miss Johnny over there, I'm gonna tell your daddy, grandma, or you don't even hear about it. You get home, where were you at today? Oh, you was over here, you was over there. How you know that? I told you I got ears and eyes everywhere, and that's a true thing. So I think, to a certain degree, yes, we have to come back to the village mentality, but only if the village is correct in itself. And I'm going to say that first, because we can't have grown adults out here that's kids trying to lead kids. It's not going to work. Yeah. If you're a true adult and your program works for your kids and they're never in trouble and they're on the up and up, well, yeah, if you see my child out somewhere, hey, by all means, do what you got to do, but do it respectfully. And that's all I ask. And I think once we as a whole get back to that, it benefits everyone overall. Whether it's military side, civilian side, even in recruiting, whatever it may be. And I think that will help overall, But as far as the benefits and stuff that we have, certain stuff like that, like we have education benefits. We serve the soldiers. We can give it off to our kids. We have home loans, stuff like that. We don't pay taxes on certain stuff. We have severely acquired skills programs. We can help you get certain certifications, whether it's welding, electrician, stuff like that. You come in and get the same certification. You may go pay $3,000, $4,000 for yourself out your own pocket. You go through a course, you go through some training, you get that same certification with us. We're going to pay you while you're getting that certification. Now you can use that same certification to come out to get a job at a higher level and keep on moving.
And then you got the military to box to check on your application too.
There you go. It's that simple.
Stand out 10 times more than everybody else.
It's that simple.
Bro, what's crazy is I didn't really consider joining the military till about 10 years ago. I was at that job working collections. And I was like, I can't do it, because of the situation with my daughter and baby moms and all that. So, see, at that point, 30-something years old, I still ain't had no purpose. I was still trying to figure out what I could do because that wasn't it, bro.
I'm right there with you.
But, man, I'm going to tell you, y'all did a good job on this podcast, giving that information, man.
Appreciate it.
Now, we talked about a lot of positive things, but we got to figure something out and get the VA whipped into good shape, man. They going to have something got to change with that, man. Where do we start, man, with that? Like, who do we talk to, man? Maybe get them on the podcast. They ain't gonna want to come on, is it? Like, what do we
To
do?
be honest,
Because everybody talks about that, bro.
Man.
People need to hear you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah.
My bad. I
No, you
talk
good.
with my hands a lot, so I might be swinging the mic around a little bit.
That's like animated.
But when it comes, so just like how the gentleman was saying, South Carolina is trash, but North Carolina is 10 times different, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
They right there.
like we discussed, MEPS, right? MEPS is exactly the same way all across the board. Processing, paperwork, the way they accept stuff, all of us exactly the same, right? So why not, if MEPS runs exactly the same, why not run the VA exactly the same? Why
Right.
is a neighboring state having better success than the other state right next to it? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. I feel like they need to come up with just a strict guideline on this is how it should be ran, and leave it like that. And if it's successful at one spot, it should be successful everywhere.
Okay, so can you do that? Can y'all do that? Come up with a guideline, and then maybe, we talk about it on the podcast, and then maybe go talk to some people in person. What can we do, man?
I
Seriously.
say with us, that's
hold on.
say that's above our pay grade.
Right.
Because that's that's the VA, that's that side of the military. It would have to be a representative from the VA themselves to answer those questions. That like, well, why South Carolina runs differently from North Carolina? Somewhere it's a disconnect. Like you say, it's the same script or same movie, different characters. It's the same guidelines across, but people are running it differently in their respective states or whatever it may be. So I think that's the biggest disconnect. Like, they know the guidelines. My thing is this: who's checking in behind them? The checks and balances.
See, there you go.
Nobody's been checking in behind them to where, if they've had surveys, well, this state right here's VA is this state's right here VA is that. Well, somebody needs to come in and see what the problem is and see what the issue is. And I think that's the only way that would be able to get resolved within itself.
And then going back to the stat I said earlier, I think it was like 61% of the veterans that had committed suicide didn't have their VA benefits the year prior. That should be enough to get people to, man, what do we march for nowadays? What do we protest for nowadays? What was the last major protest we had? I'm not going to Google it. I don't even try to watch the news like that.
I don't watch the news really myself.
Respectfully, I don't want to. I can think of it, but I just don't want I don't know.
I think
I'll put it out there.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I'll put it out
write
there.
Write it down. Just write it down real quick.
It was I'll say it.
Listen,
but respect. I'm gonna say it right, but this has nothing to do with how I feel about what's going on in the world. I am a military in the military service, and I have obligations to the military in my country. But with that being said, I think one of the recently, like within a year or so, one of the biggest protests was the No Kings protest. That was one of them, right? No Kings protest? Nobody agree with that?
I don't even know what that is. Like I said, I don't watch the news, man.
So the No Kings protest is a protest where people went into the streets and they were protesting against Donald Trump, basically stating, no kings. He's no king, and he's not going to be a king. He's not going to be treated like a king. And again, I want to be sure to make this very clear that I am a service member, and he is my commander in chief, and I follow suit with whatever I need to follow suit with.
We really don't talk about politics, though.
We don't, right? But that's just I just wanted to say that I thought that's where we were going with this, but that's one of the bigger protests.
It's just that, man, like, obviously y'all about that action. What I do for a living now, like a podcast, I talk, but I'm about that action too. I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to come up with a solution. And whatever I can do to help y'all and to help those in the VA, man. Because the rates, the numbers are there. The statistics are there. But it's like, what are we as brothers and sisters going to do for our other brothers and sisters? You know what I'm saying? Because the brotherhood is real, bro. I'm going to tell you, I found that out doing jiu-jitsu, man. Like, football didn't mean... some people love football, nothing to take it against them. Like, that's all it was for me. Just play football. I didn't play soccer. I used to play back to being like we used to play kickball. So I went to York Royal Elementary, man. We played kickball all the time. I was never put in soccer or nothing like that, man. Or you got to be versatile out here, bro, especially nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of it's a lot of competition in various ways of life, man, and just developing your child to be versatile. That's a pretty good thing to do, man. I don't know why do they even say that. I think y'all let's do closing remarks. I gotta go pick baby girl up from school. She gonna be on me, dog. I'm supposed to be there at 3:00.
315.
So any closing remarks to anybody out there that's lost? I want to go ahead and say this real quick. So if you are feeling suicidal, there's a Veterans Crisis Line. You call or text 988 and press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with that being said, like, any final thoughts that y'all have for the people out there, somebody that might be lost, maybe on the verge of suicidal, don't have purpose,
I'll just say,
you know, all that stuff, man.
I'll just say for anyone that's, you know, maybe battling, you know, depression, suicidal thoughts or anything like that, first of all, you're not weak. Let's put that out there. You're not weak. Whatever your issue is, circumstance may be, it's overwhelming. I know a lot of times, you know, people try to deal with stuff by themselves. They try to figure it out. They try to come up with an answer, have a solution. You're not going to always have it, and that's okay. There are people out there that are there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
I will say to you, you just have to put your pride to the side if that's the case, if that's the issue. You know, and I'll say this, for one, people going to talk.
Yeah.
If that's what you're worried about, people talk every day. But if it's going to save you and get you back on track, reach out to the people that's there for you, whether it's a pastor, whether it's a counselor, a close friend, somebody, reach out. Because, you know, when it comes to suicide, as we say, one is too many. Because you can never turn that back. You can never get that back. There's no reverse Uno. There's no hit the reset button. There's no do it again. So if you're in that state or within that mind frame or whatever it may be, reach out. Reach out. You have to take the first step. Nobody's going to do it for you. You know, and I'll say myself, I've been through a lot of stuff myself with my family and friends that know me. I'm very resilient. I've been through. And there's been times, you know, I've been down on myself, and I can honestly say, you know, I may have thought about suicide once, but at the end of the day, that's very selfish. You're being very selfish because when you do something like that, think about the people that you're hurting, you're leaving behind. You don't have no answers for them. Don't be selfish. Reach out, you know, and that's, you know, all I have to say when it comes to that, you know, just reach out, man. Like, just reach out. Put your pride aside, put your ego aside. Get the help.
I'm gonna keep it quick, right? I don't know y'all, but I love y'all. Times is hard out here, and if you ever just need somebody just to talk to, you can find me on Instagram. I know it's not the best way to communicate with somebody, but you know, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need some information, it's recruiter_Mo, M-O-E. Feel free to reach out to me. If I can't help you, I will do my best to find out the information to help you. I know times it's a struggle out here, but just like Sergeant Lytle said, we need you around more than you know. So if there's anything that I can do to help you out, reach out, you know, and I'll do my best to help you with whatever situation you got going on.
To everybody that, you know, watching the video, all my listeners, I want to say thank y'all. This is a very good opportunity, man, and I'm really trying to make some positive changes out here for my, you know, my environment, man, the people around me, like family, friends, everybody in York County, really, and hopefully beyond. But right now, it's about getting the work done here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, man, in York. You know, that was my stomping grounds a little bit back in the day, man. But I can't do it alone. We have to do it together. That's what it's all about. Back to symbiosis. What can we do to help each other beneficially to be a greater society? Thank you for tuning in. Peace and love. Thank y'all, man. For real, bro. I appreciate y'all.
For having us,
Now,
man.
I ain't mean no disrespect about the mic, bro.
Oh
No problem. No
I
problem.
realized I started talking like this. It's all good.
Yeah, because I'm looking at him like I can't hear it, so it's important that people hear every word you say,
Right,
man.
right.
Like, this ain't no game, bro.
You're right, 100%. Well,
Like-
I appreciate y'all for appreciate you for having us. I'm glad everything played out the way it did. Again, like we said before we started, I was walking out while you was trying to walk in. So us meeting each other,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
fate.
right. So I'm gonna say my guest that was on early had to leave and go handle some business, man. I was talking to him at the sauna, telling him, I was like, man, I've been at the VFW. Well, I called up there. I can't never get anybody on the phone. Well, I got somebody on the phone one time. She said to call the next day or whatever happened. I went up to the American Legion because I'm really trying to do this thing, man. Like I've never served in the military. My sister did. Both my granddaddies did. My non-biological granddaddy did. I mean, I got uncles. Not to mention my jiu-jitsu brothers, man. Shout out to all of y'all. Like, it's so many veterans around here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I just got this calling to help y'all, man, and to help. Because I feel like y'all really deserve it first, man. You know what I'm saying? But everyone deserves these possible alternative medicines that don't have as many side effects. And you said the word drug earlier. Like, when does it turn into drug? Like, that word is so crazy to me, man. If it's something that was put here by God, how can somebody tell me I can't use it? Especially in like a safe environment. So do you want me to stay depressed? Or I'm not saying I'm depressed. I mean, everybody, I deal with depression sometimes. But like, why can't I alleviate my anxiety, bro, in a better way? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just raw dogging it with jiu-jitsu and working out, man, and hiking when I can, bro, and doing breathing exercises.
Right.
Not that I'm looking for an easy way out, man, but if it can help me manage it better, man, and I ain't got to worry about that stress, man, I can focus on something else, man, and not have that monkey on my back.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I surrendered to Christ about a year ago. That's why I have my relationship with as far as religion. You know what I'm saying? I'm spiritually, you know what I'm saying, inclined to say that. So, all right, we out.
All right.
Y'all good?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Peace.